Everyone, it's Larry Johnson, your host for Eight Principles Voices. And for me, today is a very special pleasure and opportunity. I get the opportunity to have a conversation with my good friend and colleague, Ravi Nair. Now, Ravi and I go way back about 3 years, I guess, or 4 years anyway.
Yep.
And I met Ravi through another colleague, Sachin, when I went to India. And I learned a lot about India through Ravi, both just watching him interact with his fellow countrymen and the way he does things. And he was quite the guide. He really helped me thread Indian culture and really made me sort of, okay, I feel like I can do this. I can navigate this. They won't look at me like, who is this guy that just landed? So that's what I'm just going to have a wonderful time today. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Ravi. He's much older than he looks, so he won't tell you that, but he is. He looks like he's just out of school. But anyway, Ravi is really a man of the world. He's an Indian native, but he spent time in working for the U.S. company and in Britain. He was in Britain for 15 years, and he came back. But he's taken his experience in business and he's created what I would call an entrepreneurship sort of platform for teaching people a certain way of looking at life, a very positive way of looking at life. He's also, and he'll tell you, I'll let him tell you himself about how he uses these techniques to help people sort of reinvent themselves and really rid themselves of a lot of negativity, which of course is very much common in the world. So anyway, and Ravi, I won't get into this too much for the listeners, but I'll bring this. Do you remember when we were in the silk store in Bangalore?
Yeah.
You remember
yeah,
that? You remember
yeah,
that?
yeah. Buying that dress
Okay.
for wives.
Well, you see, that is how I say this guy can navigate anything. You know, and I thought, wow, I want him on my side. So anyway, without further ado, welcome, Ravi. It's a pleasure.
Larry, thanks a lot for having me on this podcast. It's been a pleasure when you were in India, going around different cities, meeting different people. And I'm so happy. More than the podcast, it's like meeting you, seeing you after such a long time.
Oh,
I think it's going to be fun. We're
it
going to
will
catch
be.
up with a lot of, yeah, a lot of stories
So
to catch up with.
So you are the CEO of Creating Extraordinary Outcomes. All right. Tell me what
Right?
that is. Tell me
So,
what, go ahead.
yeah, Larry. So I just thought our designation should align with our purpose in life, right? So when I say CEO and I said creating extraordinary outcomes, that keeps reminding me my very purpose of starting my company, Rich Minds, which is a leadership training company. So every time I create a program for corporates, the very clear objective and purpose I have is I have to create extraordinary outcomes. So with that purpose in mind, it really helps me not to deviate. I'm very focused on what I create for people. So that is the whole reason I had that designation. As when I call myself the CEO of my company, the whole purpose behind that is to create extraordinary outcomes. As simple as that. And I just feel that many times people have designations, but they really don't understand what is the purpose behind it. So it's normally just fancy terms. So I think this helps. This helps me. I don't know about the others, but it definitely helps me.
I've read your book. I think it must have just come out when we were there, The Weekend Miracle. Um, Tell me a little bit about just sort of what the premise of the book is and what you wanted it to do for the reader.
Yeah, thank you, Larry. This is a book very close to me. This is my first book, and I this book is all about the subconscious mind, the power of the subconscious mind. So, why this book is so important is for me is what I realize in life is our conscious mind actually develops after the age of 7 or 8 years, the logical mind, right? And but the subconscious mind is already in action and active right from your mother's womb. They say it's around the fourth week. So literally, all our programming, or the way we behave, the way we think, is already been programmed by the age of 7 or 8, and everything is there in the subconscious mind, which is a mind which gives you all your actions and behaviors on a daily basis. So think about this. Like all your logical thinking started after the age of 8 or 9, 8 or 9. So when somebody actually told us, "You're dumb, you're not good enough," or whatever they said, it directly went into the subconscious mind. Until the age of 8, since there was no logical thinking, we directly accepted it. And that's what makes this whole subject so interesting for me. And this book is so simplified, anybody could understand it. That is one of the plus points about this book. Yeah. So there are many books on subconscious mind, and they're all good. I read quite a bit myself. So my whole purpose of writing this book was to keep it as simple so that anybody who picks it up understands what the subconscious mind is all about.
Well, you draw attention to something that I think is very critical, and that is the most powerful ideas are those that are very simple.
Yeah.
And conveying simplicity is actually more work than conveying complexity. Yeah, it's you have to work at making it simple. So that I enjoyed reading it for that very reason, the simplicity of it. Now, part of this also is what you call your law of attraction. Now, that's stated simply. I think it's you attract whatever you're projecting, is what you're telling me. So, when you work with either a corporate or a business client, how do you use that to make them more effective leaders?
Actually, that's a very good question, because there was a time when I used to tell corporates about the law of attraction, and they said, no, we don't get this. I mean, this is not a subject we wanted in the corporate. And then I started asking people, what is the one thing that leaders miss today? The power to attract. Be it relationship, be it money, be it business, whatever it is, they have lost the power to attract, right? Now, to understand the law of attraction, I'll dive, not deep dive, but slightly touch feelings, So, Larry, one question to you and the audience. Just a simple example. Why do you watch movies?
Well, you watch movies because they're an opportunity to engage in an adventure that you might like to be a part of. Let me give you an example. The most recent series of James Bond films, all right, with Daniel Craig. I can imagine I'm kind of like him, and I'm in these very adventuresome settings, and I do these things, and I can sort of identify with this character. It's the same sort of thing. Yeah.
Right, Larry. You think about it. Whatever you said, if I have to sum it up, you and me or anybody for the matter goes to movies because we are seeking a particular emotion. Right? So if it's a movie of action oriented or whatever, you are seeking that emotion of aggression or action. That's why you love that movie. But probably if your wife goes with you and she's seeking romance or some other emotion, she might come out of the same movie and say, "Oh, Larry, this was such horrible movie. I don't like this." Now think about it. So everything we do in our life and everything we don't do in our life is also a result of feelings. For example, to not do something, you have to feel lazy. Think about it. Right? So, so I tell people, whatever stops you from achieving in life or whatever pushes you to achieve something in life is all about emotions. Because emotions put you into motion. Right? And because emotions, energy in motion. Now, from that perspective, think about it. Why law of attraction is very important for corporates, for anybody for that matter. Whenever you open your mouth, there is an underlying emotion to it. If, for example, somebody gets up in the morning and says, "Oh my God, I don't know how this day is going to be." Or whatever the words, just below that is an emotion. And then emotion might be of fear, of guilt, or whatever it is. Now, fortunately, unfortunately, it's very simple, Larry. While I talk about the law of attraction many times, I also say that the law of attraction actually can destroy your life. Think about it.
Oh, yes,
How?
you're attracting the wrong things. You're
Attracting
seeking
the
the
wrong
wrong
things.
thing. It's a power that you could
Many
control
people,
over.
many people don't practice law of attraction, but I tell them this. The law of attraction is similar to the law of gravity. Now, for example, law of gravity is very simple. Anything which goes up comes down, right? But do you and I actually get up every day morning and throw something up to check if it's working? No, you don't. And even if you don't, does it mean it is not working? It is working all the time. The law of gravity is working all the time. Similarly, the law of attraction is working 24 hours, 365 days a day. 365 days a year. So, whenever you open your mouth, watch the emotion below that. the words you're using, right? Because universe attracts those frequencies.
Yes.
Uh, and to explain, just to make it simplify, like where we're sitting right now, Larry, you will probably have all the frequencies of all the radio channels around you. Yes or no?
Yes. No.
Right? Maybe you can't see it right now, but if you plug in a radio and just tune it,
Yes.
suddenly get the frequency. So similarly, the frequency of money, health, relationship, everything is around you. But unfortunately, people are tuned into the wrong channel, right? And so they're
Yes.
attracting the wrong things in life.
Mm-hmm.
So it is very important for corporates or even for sales people, everything. Like imagine a sales guy who's going for a sales call. The moment he leaves his office to the client's office, look at the words he's saying. I don't think this is going to work. I don't think this client is going to agree to my pricing. I don't think this. I don't think that. Now look at the frequency of vibrating it. And
Mm-hmm.
when he lands up at the client's office, he the client reacts the same way he was expecting it. And then he comes out and says, see, wow.
Mm-hmm.
See, I told you this client is not going to agree. But actually, he didn't realize that he only created it.
Self-confirming. Self-confirming.
Self-confirm all the time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
to give an analogy of this, Larry, is like today you're wearing a black shirt, right? Suppose we meet on this
Yeah.
podcast and I see you wearing a black shirt. You look nice on this anyway. I meet you after 1 month or another some event, and again you're wearing a black shirt. After a month, I travel to the US or you come to India, and again I see a black t-shirt. After a couple of months, your birthday is coming up, and I say, let me give Larry a gift. And you know what I did? I end up buying a black t-shirt for you. And you tell me, Ravi, this is not my favorite color. I mean, I like black. I mean, I know you're nice, you might just not say anything. But just assume, you say, Ravi, I don't like black, I just wear it sometimes. But this black t-shirt is exactly the words you're using with the universe.
Yes.
When you use these words again and again, the universe feels you love this t-shirt or they love those words or the frequency. And it will keep giving more people and more situations which match that frequency. And that's why some people are in a loop, misery loop. They're not able to get out. But they never realize that they're vibrating at a frequency which is not really helping them.
Oh, I think that's incredible. That's incredible. They get into their own loop. I like that. And the half a dozen times you've seen me in a black shirt, you just assume that's my entire wardrobe, and that's what you're going to do. And I do like black, but um, now here's what I want to do. I want to tell a story, and this is a true story. You were there when this happened, and that's the story of our little adventure to the silk merchant in Bangalore. Now, just for the audience, it was when I was in India, and we were in Bangalore. I can never pronounce that. We were in Bangalore, and of course, the Moisant silk is in that part of the country. And I wanted to get my wife something very nice, and so I went into this beautiful silk store, and this is the kind of place where it's all on bolts, and it's just sort of say they sort of unroll it. What would you like? And this kind of thing. You're sitting at this lovely table, and there are a few ready-made things, but the real main event is these bolts of silk. And I wanted to get her something very nice sari. And when when it was clear to the sales lady, this young woman, that I was not just looking for something that was for a tourist, I was looking for something very fine for my wife. Suddenly, a whole different class of goods came out. I was amazed at that. Oh, well, in that case, we're going to look at this stuff right here. Okay, right. So in that regard, she very well knew what I was looking for, and then adjusted herself accordingly for that, and spent plenty of time with me. All right. Well, then it was all done, and we were then there quite a while, and I bought some other things, and we, the sale was rang up, and then I was fine with it. I signed it, and it was all done. And then later, the some of the people in the back had discovered that there'd been an error in computation, and that I overcharged me or something. Well, whatever it was a minor amount. I'm going, fine, just keep it, just keep it. Oh no, they couldn't have that. And then this ensued this 30-minute sort of back and forth about how they were going to solve this problem. And the customer was perfectly okay with it. I'm okay.
Right?
It's hey, I'll take another some earrings. We'll call it even. Fine. Now, and in this country, that'd have been fine, dandy. We'll see you. Okay. But for these people, they couldn't wrap their heads around this, Ravi, and
Yeah.
because there was this system they were using, which I still don't understand how it worked. But then, fortunately, you were there, so I want you to take it up right there because you stepped in to to fix this, and of course, you were speaking to them in Hindi, a lot more directly than I would ever speak to them in English. And I do remember because I said, "So what did you say to these people, Ravi?" Because and so, but so it would take it up from there and let's tell the audience what happened.
So in fact, of course, they overbilled you by because of some nominal amount, whatever it is, but
Yeah.
they could not. And you were ready to let it go. You said, Ravi, it's a small amount, just don't bother. But they were not ready to let it go. They said, we want to sort it out. You just wait. And the whole bargain, they made us wait. And then finally, I think what they did was they paid back in cash or something, right? Either
I,
rupees.
I did some, I bought some earrings and some other stuff, but it was such a nominal amount, Ravi. It wasn't worth the 30 minutes we had to wrangle with these people to
Yes.
get out of there. Um,
So in
but
fact, Larry, you remember this experience very well. Each of it, like entering the store and everything. That brings to us to a very important thing, which I would like to share with the audience and you. There is something called as a reticular activation system. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's an RAS, reticular activation system. This is something which is there in your brain stem. And you know what this RAS does? Anytime you focus on something, it will delete everything around it and make you focus on that one thing so much. So if you vividly remember every incident, like you went to the shop, you bought, you were talking to that guy, that is because in that experience, your RAS was focusing on that incident.
Mhm.
And even if you speak about it 5 years from now, you'll be able to tell me everything said just now. Because that day, the RAS got activated. So that's how it works. This RAS is very beautiful. Unfortunately, people don't know about it. So they misuse it. So it gets activated. It doesn't understand right, wrong, negative, positive. So the moment you think about something negative also or positive also, the RAS gets activated and it zooms everything for you. I'll give you an example, Larry. Uh, when did you buy your car? When was the last time you bought your car? 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 years. When was it?
Oh, I remember when I bought my last car. Yes, it was a very
Yeah.
pleasant experience.
Right. So when you finalize a car, when you decided I'm going to buy this car, the model and the color, you already decided. When you started going on the road, you started seeing it everywhere. On the parking lots, in the on the traffic signals, right? You started seeing the same model, the same vehicle everywhere,
Yeah, you're right.
right? That is because on a thought level, on a mind level, you're focusing on that car. Till you didn't buy that car, your mind is focused on that, and the RS got activated. And it will keep zooming, it will keep zooming, it will keep zooming in. And it deletes everything else and keeps showing you that car. The day that car lands in your house, you bought it and it's delivered to your house, it will stop zooming now because it's right in your house now. So the RS is a very powerful tool. Most people don't understand when they try law of attraction that there is something called as the RAS which gets activated, and most people use it the other way around, like to create miseries in their life. They keep thinking negative, they keep thinking negative, and the RAS gets activated unfortunately, and it zooms it so much, Larry. I mean, when you do some research afterward, I'll tell you some notes also on RAS. It's so powerful if you know this science. This one reason could be the reason why somebody would stop thinking negative and start thinking positive.
It's fascinating. I hadn't really thought of that, but it's true. I was thinking about when I bought my last car before I bought it. Not necessarily the color, but I would see the model everywhere. Um,
Right?
and it's not that popular a car. There aren't that many on the road, but I would see it everywhere. Um, and I still do. I like it. I still have it, and I love it. And I'll see them. Oh, there's one. There's one. There's one. But the minute I brought it home, it wasn't quite as everywhere. You're right. Um,
But like you very uh, practical example of this, and my mother will understand this. When a woman delivers a baby, she's in a lot of pain, lot of pain. The moment she sees a child, in all that pain, how she smiles. Because the moment she focuses on the baby, the RAS gets activated. The RAS deletes all the pain around it, shows her the baby. She's so happy, she's smiling. And the moment they take the baby away from her, again the RAS starts focusing on the pain. It is so powerful, Larry. I mean, this one thing when I do my workshop, I tell people about the RAS and how it works, because at least once people know there is an biological thing which is happening inside your brain, which can really help you, or it can make you or break you a little. That's how it is.
Yeah, it can. So when you work as an individual coach, tell me a little bit about how you do that. What I mean by that is, let's start with the time that you've identified what the business executive wants to work on, and you've said yes, and we'll do that. Tell me about how it goes from there. What do you do next? Logistically, how does it work?
Right. So first, so when I work with corporate, many times we have very senior executives who come in for coaching. The first thing which I do, and which most coaches also should be doing, is establish credibility. If you don't establish your credibility, because I'm going to enter your personal life, I'm going to ask you some questions over a period of time. And if I don't have the bond with you, if I don't have the trust with you, there's no question you're going to open up. There's no way you're going to open up. So the first session, or I would say maybe 2 sessions required, no problem. But build your trust, build your credibility. That's what I do. Like I tell him everything about what I do, my background, my life, how I work with certain people, though I don't take names. And then we talk about some concepts here and there. And then once the person getting coached gets a confidence, I can trust this guy. He'll keep secrets. And then he's going to open up. So many times it has happened, Larry, that people actually told the truth for the third or the fourth session. Till then he was like, oh, no, I know problems. I'm fantastic. But in the fourth or fifth session, they actually started opening up, talking about the problems they're really facing, the kind of anger issues they have or ego issues they have, which is not something people speak of so easily. But yeah, it takes time. So I normally spend 1 or 2 sessions to build that trust, reliability, confidence, and then I take it forward. And then there are various methodologies, modalities I use, Larry, to erase your feelings, negative things. But most important, Larry, is awareness. Once a person becomes aware that I have a problem, and he settles down, he accepts that, then the coaching starts. You can't fix it. You can just fix it. He has to accept that I have a problem and I'm ready to work on it. And when that comes through, then it is sorted. Then the second part is much easier.
All right. I was kidding you before when I said creating extraordinary outcomes. Your company name is actually Rich Minds. So tell me a little bit how you chose that name, Rich Minds.
Okay, so that's interesting actually. So I was doing a lot of work on why people are struggling so much, and then what I realized is a lot of things are coming from a child. Like you think about most of the misery people are going through. So there are 2 things here. One is the standard of living, and one is the quality of living. Right? So talking about standard of living, as you grew up, every time you heard something, you earned maybe 80% marks, and maybe your parents said, "Oh, 80, you look at that boy, he's got 90% marks." Everything which we earned in life is always less than somebody else. So if somebody had to tell you at home to study, like our parents, they used to say, if you don't study, you will not get a good job, you will not get a good house, you can't build your career. So everything was, nobody spoke about happiness. The reason you have to study is because you have to build something. So the whole pursuit, if you ask me, every human being on this planet, mostly, is for standard of living. Right? And when I talk about rich minds, I'm talking about the quality of life. Because when you start working the quality of life, then your standard of living automatically goes up.
Yeah.
So my whole this about rich mind was building a community which thinks rich. And talking about thinking rich, Larry, most of the anxiety and stress is coming because of money. I mean, we all know that. And you are in the fund creation business.
Yeah. Yeah.
You help people raise funds for charity and stuff like that. But you must have heard this very famous statement, the universe gives money to the rich. The God always gives money to the richer, or the richer attracts more. Have you heard this? Right?
Well,
The richer gets richer, something like that.
Well, you know yourself, you were talking about what I do is generate funds for charity. Actually, what I do is I help those who invest in charity, the investors, the donors, feel wealthy themselves because their wealth is not material that they're looking for. You see, there's the key. And unfortunately, fundraisers make it all about money when it's not about money. It's about bringing well-being to other people. That's really what it's about. And in the case of those who make the investment, they're looking for an immaterial return. It's not a material one, but unfortunately, our nonprofits here, and I'm sure it's the same in India to some degree, that it's all about the money I need to execute my program. Well, that's great to that point, but that's not really what it's about. And you know yourself that once someone discovers that, oh, it's about this, it's not about this. Well, then, it's like you don't have to worry about money again because it's not about the money. Hello. And you've seen that in your own work. You see, when they realize it's about them and their well-being, it's not about the money, then apparently how magic changes things. There we go.
Yeah, Larry, in fact, continuing on the thread of conversation we're having now, I normally ask workshops. In the workshop, I ask people, why do you want money? Why do you need money? And mostly people say to buy luxuries, to buy... to satisfy your needs. And I always ask them this question, think about it. You only need money to buy time. Like if you keep a maid at home, you're buying your wife's time. If you keep a driver, you're actually buying your own time. If you're taking your family out for a vacation, you're buying their time so that you can spend time with them, talk to them, right? Think about some of the major inventions, like for example, somebody choosing to go by a plane rather a train. He's buying his own time. So I asked people, if given by that definition, everybody wants to make a lot of money, but I said, are you not rich? If you're able to buy time, like, whenever you want, you are rich. It doesn't matter that you have 5 million in your account or 10 million in your account. The fact is today, if you're able to buy time, you are rich. And that is exactly how the law of attraction works. It works with gratitude. What I have is enough today. Once you start on that frequency, then you start attracting money. Because most of the time, 90% of the people around are always saying, I don't have enough. I mean, look at this guy. Look at Larry. He has a lot of money. You look at other guy. He has a lot of money. So I always tell people, the day you look at other people's wealth, you're poor automatically. It's not because you are poor. You're looking at others' bank balance, others' car. That is what makes you feel poor all the time. Because this was the same life.
I love your concept of buying time. And I'm recalling another situation that you were directly involved in, and you'll remember this. We're sitting at the air terminal in Bangalore, and we're going to be flying to Delhi that morning. All right. And the other members of our party had already excused themselves. And I was sitting there enjoying this filtered coffee that's in India that I really, really like. And I miss it, by the way. Now, I will say this for purpose of the audience. Indians can't get the idea of black coffee. I don't know, they just don't get it. And when I ask for black coffee, it always comes with something in it, but that's beside the point. So, but this filter coffee that you have, and they serve it in the little clay cups, it's just so incredible. I really enjoy it. And so, and I know we're going to be leaving soon, and I'm just sitting there enjoying it. And I remember you saying to me, don't worry. We got plenty of time. And I think at one point you may have excused yourself and come back. And then quite by you did it so naturally, said, well, I guess we should go over there now. We were just like opposite the departure lounge right there. Well, we walk over there and I see the sound, file call, door closing. There's not anybody in the departure lounge. I'm going, I mean, in this country, it's like, oh my God, I've just lost my flight, you know? Well, we walk up and the man at the door says, did you enjoy your coffee, Master Larry? Oh my God, what has this guy done for me? Ravi he's been over there and he bought time. You see what he did? What you did?
Right.
You bought time. I was able to enjoy that. I'll never forget that. And of course, we walk on. We're the last two on this plane. They close the door right behind us. And our traveling companions are going, where the hell have you guys been? We've been sitting here forever on this plane waiting for you. And I'm thinking, you see, you have learned your own lesson well, Ravi. You know how to buy time for other people. And I wish I could teach more fundraisers that, because that whole idea of buying time for people, that's what they really want, you
Yeah,
know, you know. Um,
absolutely.
uh, but I'll never forget that. I was like, try that in this country, Robbie. That's me. Whoa. But it was wonderful. It really, really was. Absolutely. So, okay. So you've got this book, Weekend Miracle. You got the company, Rich Minds. What's next for you, Robbie? What's coming up next?
Oh, in fact, I have designed a very beautiful program in India called as Human Excellence. It's going fantastically. It's a brilliant program which covers a lot of things about uh, the quality of life, not the standard of life. So initially, when I used to approach corporate,
No,
there's
notice what he
human
said. Notice what he said, I guess. The quality of life, not the standard of life. Okay. I like that. You see, what quality is it as opposed to what standard are we living to? Yeah, I love that. Keep going.
Yeah. So in fact, I mean, look at many people around whom I coach. A lot of businessmen. They all move in BMWs or Mercedes, whatever, but they're not happy. So they achieved the standard of life. They achieved it. They are the pinnacle of success. But the quality of life is so down, right? That is the reason they need coaching. Simple. If your quality of life is very high and the standard is whatever level, you'll still be better off in life. So this
Mm-hmm.
whole workshop on human excellence is about how to take the quality of life to such a level that you don't chase anything in your life, you start attracting it.
Do we
Right.
have a do we
So,
have a title for this book?
no, in fact, the book is worded something. There's a new book which is coming out most probably in October, November. It's the title of the book is How to Speak to the Universe.
How to speak to
The universe.
the universe. Okay. All right.
Yeah, because Larry, the thing is, every time you open your mouth, you're talking to the universe.
That's true.
So when I'm talking to you as a friend and I'm telling you, Larry, there are a lot of problems in my life. You know what? I'm stuck, man. Actually, I'm talking to the universe. So your energy, I am energy. Now, if I keep doing this throughout the day, if I talk to you today and afternoon I'm talking to Sachin or any other friend, I'm repeating this 10 times a day. I'm actually telling the universe again and again that I love this frequency. It is a black shirt. So the universe says, okay, you love this frequency, emotional frequency. Let me give you more people and situations who match this frequency.
Okay.
So it is very important. Like for example, I always ask people, how do you pray? What do you say when you pray? Like so, generally people say they speak about the problems. Then I tell them, why would you want to tell God your problems here? He knows everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I say my prayer is very simple, which I've been doing for the last many years now. Because when you're talking to the God, wherever you're a church, temple, or masjid, you're actually talking to the universe. So when I stand there, this is what I say. Thank you for everything you have done for me till now. You have taken care of me so beautifully. Now, gratitude for future also. I know you're standing behind me. I got nothing to do. That's it. That is my prayer now. Because this is what I tell the universe. So I don't have to stand there and count my problems with the universe because God knows everything. Otherwise, He wouldn't be God. He knows everything. So this has been my constant prayer. And there's a whole book which I wrote on how to have a conversation with the universe, how to talk to the universe. So that uh, literally you don't have to pray. Your day goes as a prayer. Your conversations become like a prayer. That is the whole idea of. So this book will come out in October.
Okay.
So it's already written and done. It's being the cover is being designed and stuff like that. But that's it. Should be
Okay.
out.
All right. Well, we'll have to talk to you when that comes out.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Um, so now, do you ever get stateside? Ever come to the U.S.?
I don't know. I mean, I'm actually working. There's a company, the company in Singapore. It's
Mm-hmm.
a training and development company. So they like my work, and they said we last 3 4 months back we had a chat about how we can come together and launch programs in the US, UK, and all that. We just talking about it. So April I went to Singapore, met them. So hopefully, if I'm lucky enough, 2026 I'll be there. Maybe just for the program or just to meet you.
Well,
Again, some
I hope soon.
yeah.
Love to host you in this country. You were so kind to me when I was in India. Um, yeah, it really was. You know, one thing I like about you, Ravi, is that you're a very positive person, but also than that, you really resist overcomplicating things. And I really like that because so much of what we deal with is overcomplication. Now, in my business, fundraisers tie themselves up in the knots trying to figure out all the intricacies of whatever, rather than simply saying, so Ravi, tell me, what would you like to accomplish? And you will tell me. And if I'm astute enough to actually listen to you, as opposed to just kind of I ask you that question, then plow ahead with what my agenda is, whatever that is. Um, that's the key. Is you have this sense of, well, let's just, as you said, let's receive what the universe is transmitting to us here. What is it we're hearing? And because most of us don't listen. Well, now in this country, by the way, it's very clear what black coffee means. All right. However, how many times do I go into a restaurant and I'll say I'd like some black coffee, and the response is, "Would you like cream and sugar with that?"
uh,
And and I'm going to go, "You just didn't listen to what I said." I'm thinking you didn't pay attention to what I said. You're on some sort of automated loop, that you're just going to respond. You heard coffee is all you heard, and then you're just going to give me that loop. And when you can break that loop, when you can just listen to what someone is saying to you, you see, that's a tremendous power that you have. And so you teach people how to do that, Ravi.
yeah.
Listen, don't presuppose, which by the way is a number one, what not number one, but it's a very common problem among fundraisers. They're not listening, they're presupposing, and they wonder why that they're getting mediocre responses. There you go.
Absolutely. In fact, Larry, the presupposing, or as we might call it, assuming,
Mm-hmm.
is coming from your own experience in life, right? So everybody assumes from the experience in life, and then one question I ask is, how big is your experience in life? Hardly anything. I mean, I'm 54 today, but I don't know. I don't. I might have seen 0.00001% of life, maybe. That's it. I mean, your 1% is so different than my 1%, right? So I'll imagine people assuming from the limited experience they have, from that 1% which they have in life, they're assuming from that. So imagine how narrow that assumption will be. So
Oof.
while you talk about the coffee, it's fine, but look at life generally. Somebody making a comment or based on assumption.
Mm-hmm.
So your assumptions come from your limited experience in life, and it is so narrow. So I would say ask the questions, and just sort it out. And
Well,
talking about complication, just thanks for mentioning that. I try to keep it less complicated. But then I often hear from people, many times, saying, your life is so hard. It's not so easy. Law of
mm-hmm.
attraction, you're talking about manifestation, stuff like that. But life is so hard. I said, yeah, life is hard. But you got to choose your heart, right? So it's like
Choose
this.
your
The
heart.
heart, your
I
heart.
I want to talk. Let's reserve that. I want to do another one of these, and we're going to talk about choose your heart.
Right.
I like that. Now, so I'm going to bring it to a close, but I want you to think about. We're going to do one on choosing your heart. Okay, will you do that for me?
We'll do that. We'll do that.
Okay.
It's
All
very
right.
interesting.
Choose your heart. I want to think about that for a little bit. Choose your heart. Robbie, I always enjoy speaking with you. Yeah, I always just sort of, you bring a different perspective to things. It's like, well, have you looked at it this way or this way? So I want to thank you for taking your time to do this today. Thank you very much. Um,
Thank you.
uh,
I'm
we
just
go
in
ahead.
hours time. I'm going to go board the train because I'm going for a workshop tomorrow, and so I'll travel today night, reach by 4 o'clock in the morning, and 8 o'clock I'll be delivering the workshop for tomorrow whole day.
Okay.
So
All
after this
right.
conversation, that's why I'm dressed up.
Yes.
You
Well,
got it. So after I just move out after this.
Well, we've been having a delightful conversation, ladies and gentlemen. Ravi Nair, who is the CEO of Rich Minds and entrepreneur extraordinaire, and I love Choose Your Heart. We're going to talk about that, but until that time, thank you, Ravi, for your time.
Thank you.
And you are in Mumbai, correct? That's where
Yes.
that's right. So I remember that the other side of the world, literally. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you so much. And we'll catch up soon to find out more about choosing the hard.
Choosing the heart. Thank
Yes.
you, ladies and gentlemen, for spending your time with us today.